the 1/2 inch diameter rod CE and the 3/4 inch diameter rod DF are attached to the rigid bar ABCD as shown. Knowing that the rods are made of aluminum and using E equals 10.6 times 10 to the 6 psi, number 1, solve the force in each rod caused by the loading shown. Number 2, solve the corresponding deflection of point A in inches. To be able to determine the forces in each rod, we are going to cut these rods and draw the free body diagram. So here are the internal forces in each rod. We call this one T sub CE and this one is T sub DF. These two rods are in tension because of the 10 kips pull here at point A. Since B is pinned, pulling A here will cause tension in each rod. So T sub CE and T sub DF is represented by tensile forces here. So this is an example of an indeterminate member because here you can only use one equation of static equilibrium and you have two unknowns. That is summation of moment at B. Summation of moment at B will give you an equation with two unknowns. If you are going to use summation of vertical forces, the unknowns will just increase because you are going to include the reaction here at B. So let's do summation of moment at B first. Summation of moment at B equals 0, considering clockwise moment as positive. T sub CE and T sub DF are going to cause clockwise moment at point B, while the 10 kips load is going to create a counterclockwise moment. So that's negative. So let's start with the positive moments. That's T sub CE multiplied by the moment arm of 12 inches plus T sub DF. The moment arm will be 12 plus 8, which is 20. And then the 10 kips force at A will create a counterclockwise moment. So that's minus 10 times the moment arm of 18 inches equals 0. Minus 10 times 18 is negative 180. And then we are going to transpose that to the right side of the equation, becomes positive. So let's call this our equation 1. Okay, so we have one equation with two unknowns. Obviously, we need one more equation. And we'll get it from the geometry of the deformations. Since bar ABCD is assumed to be rigid, it will remain straight. It is not going to bend. So if this is the original position of ABCD, this horizontal black line, then this 10 kips is going to bring point A downwards, rotating the bar. That means it is going to lift point C and point D, causing elongation of rod CE and DF. For now, let's focus on the triangles on the right of point B. Let's draw a bigger triangle. So here's the triangle again. This is the 12-inch distance from B to C, and this is the 8 inches distance from C to D. And this one is the elongation of rod CE. Let's call that delta sub CE. This one here is the elongation of rod DF, and let's call that delta sub DF. Deformation is equal to P times L over A over E. So P here is the internal force, L is the length of the rod, A is the cross-sectional area of the rod, and E is the given modulus of elasticity. So by ratio and proportion, delta sub CE is to 12 as to delta sub DF is to 20. That's 12 plus 8. Now using this formula, let's copy that. And let's copy this one first. Put it here. And then we'll put the subscript. Or this is T sub CE. This one is length CE. Then area CE. E will just keep it as E because the two rods are made of the same material. And on the right side, this P here is T sub DF. This is L sub DF. And this is area sub. And then let's plug in the given values. We have length CE is 24 inches. Length DF is 30 inches. Diameter of CE is 1/2. And the diameter of DF is 3/4. And then we're also given E. But in this case, we'll just cancel E. And then what else? This one becomes 24. This one becomes 30. Area CE is pi times diameter of CE over 4. This one also has a pi over 4, so let's just cancel pi over 4 and just use the diameter. So this will be 1/2 or 0.5, 0.5 square. And this one is 3/4 or 0.75 square. Next, I am going to express T sub DF in terms of T sub C. I can just flip this equation like that. And then this denominators here going to be multiplied here in the numerator. And this 30 here is going to be down here at the denominator. So that's our T sub DF. Let's calculate this one first. Let's remove T sub CE. How much is this? Well, so it's 3. So this is actually T sub DF equal to 3 times T sub E. This will be our equation 2. So let's copy equation 1 and 2 down here. So that's equation 1. T sub CE times 12 plus T sub DF times 20 is 180. And then equation 2 is T sub DF is equal to 3 times T sub CE. So I'm going to substitute 2 in equation 1. So here's equation 1 again. This T sub DF becomes 3 times T sub CE times 20. And then we can combine these terms. That's 12 plus 60 is 72 times T sub CE. So solving for T sub CE, that's 180 over 72. T sub CE is 2.5 kips. So from this equation, T sub DF is 3 times 2.5. T sub DF is equal to 7.5 kips. So 2.5 and 7.5 kips. That is letter A. Number 2, solve the corresponding deflection at point A in inches. Here's the deformation again. This time we are going to solve for Y sub A. We can either use delta sub CE or delta sub DF. Since we have the internal forces, we can then solve the elongation or deformation. Let's just solve the elongation for rad CE. Delta sub CE is equal to T sub CE times L sub CE divided by area sub CE divided by E, the modulus of elasticity. T sub CE is 2.5 kips. Let's multiply this by 1,000. Let's convert that to pounds. Length is 24 inches. And area is pi times 0.5 or 1/2 square over 4. And E is 10.6 times 10 to the 6. Delta CE is equal to 0.29 inch or let's use say 5 decimals. 0.02883 inch. Then solving for Y sub A, by ratio and proportion, this is to 18 equals this is to 12. Or Y sub A equals 18 times S1. And since we already have the value of delta sub CE, let's copy this. Y sub A is equal to 0.4325 inch. That's letter C. Okay, so the answers are for number 1, letter A, 2.5 kips and 7.5 kips. And for number 2 is 0.0432 inch.